Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our third live webinar for parents and guardians. My name is Murtaza Azdemir. I am the iLearn School's Director of Assessment and Technology. In today's webinar, we will go over Freckle. We are using Freckle in grades kindergarten to second grade. Today's webinar will be presented by Ms. Joanna Trawinski. She is our Patterson Arts and Science Charter Elementary teacher and also School Instructional Technology Coordinator.
To your child. And then at the end, we'll open it up to any questions that you may have. During my presentation, I've muted everyone, but if you have a question that comes up while I'm speaking, I just ask that you type it into the chat at the bottom, and I will answer those questions at the end. Okay, so why Freckle? We as educators really like Freckle because it is very individualized to every student. So there's actually two parts to Freckle. One part is where the teacher is going to assign you specific activities based on what is being taught in the classroom. And then there's another part of Freckle that is customized to how your child is, to the skills that they still need to learn and the skills that they've already learned. So when you log your child in and you go to the free practice portion of the website, each time you open a new section of that, you're going to get this pop-up that says Pretest. So Freckle is going to just do a quick couple of questions. It's usually 12 questions or less. And depending on how your child does on those questions, the website's going to calibrate where they are. So it's going to know which skills they already mastered and which skills your child still needs to practice. So that way everything is geared for your child and it's the right amount of challenge to help them grow. But again, you will still be able to get specific assignments from your teacher based on what the teacher is teaching that week. So how to log in. Freckle is synced with Clever. So to get to Freckle, you can go to your Clever account and go to your teacher's website. And then on their page, you will see this Freckle app, which is the little piggy icon. And if you click on there, it'll take you to the student dashboard. Your teacher is going to provide you with a code to log in, which is a 6-letter or number code that they're going to have to type in. And then they're also going to type in their name, and then they'll be in. If for whatever reason you're not able to log in through Clever, you can just go straight to this website, which is student.freckle.com, and it'll take you to the login page. So I'm actually going to click on that now so I can show you how you can log in. So this is the student login page, and this is where you're going to enter that 6-letter or number code from your teacher. So I'm going to log in now to a kindergarten class just to show you what that will look like from a kindergartner's point of view. So for our little ones, our kindergartners, we know it's difficult for them to type anything in. So Freckle makes it easier. And when you log into their class, all you're going to see are these tiles with every student's name, and you just have to find your child's name and click.
Excuse me, sorry. I know you're talking, but we can see your computer. Like, I know you're saying I'm going to show you, but I can't see your computer.
Oh, I see. Hold on, let me.
Sorry.
That's fine. Thank you for letting me know. How about now?
No, you're not sharing your screen.
I see it.
Yeah, you see the, so let me go back. Do you see the Freckle website right now?
I can see it too.
Yes, now I could see it.
Okay, great. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so when you go to student.freckle.com, this is the website you're going to get. And then you're going to type in that code, like I said before. And then these are the tiles. So for kindergarten and first grade, I believe all your child has to do is click on their name. Okay, so when they log in, this is what they're going to see. You can see all these different tiles here. So this is how they're going to navigate throughout the website. I'm going to start with these two, math and English. We have Freckle accounts just for these two subjects. So your child can practice math or English. So like I was saying before about the personalized free practice, if you just want your child to log in and practice some math or practice some English, they would click on one of these two. If your teacher tells you that they assigned something in Freckle, something specific that they want you to do, you would go to From My Teacher. And you can see here the number 3 means that there's 3 assignments. So if I click in there, I have 3 different assignments that the teacher assigned, and I can just press start and it'll take me through the activity. So while I'm in here, I want to point out some things. Freckle is very interactive, so your child has to constantly be clicking to advance everything. So you want to show them that this arrow key is how they're going to move through every activity, so they're going to have to keep pressing it. And then another thing for our little ones, it will actually read all the text for them. So they can just click on this and it'll read it out loud for them.
The letter C makes the sound k, like the word car.
So those are just 2 functions that I would point out to your child so that they can better access the website. So I'm going to go back out of this and back to the dashboard. So that was the assignments from your teacher. Now, if you just want your child to have extra practice in math or in English, we're going to click on one of these. So I'll go into the math one. You have 4 different ways to practice math. Number basics is going to just go over very simple things like identifying the numbers and writing them, those sorts of things. Number facts, we'll be teaching them adding, subtracting. And adaptive math is more like specific topics. So if I go in there, you see that they have all these different math topics that kind of align with some of the topics they're learning in class. So counting, algebraic thinking, measuring, you can click in any of these based on what your child wants to practice. Now, if I open one up, it'll show you what level they're starting at. Because this is a kindergarten student, it's going to start everyone on level 1. It's not even going to do that pretest so that they get all the steps in. But if they are moving through every activity quickly, it's going to advance them faster than normal. Okay, so I'm going to go back out of this. And then the last thing here is facts practice. So this is just really quick, simple adding and subtracting. And as you move on to the higher grades, it'll have multiplication and division as well. Okay, so let's look at free practice for English. So you also have 4 choices here. These decodables, I would treat them as books. So these are just simple books that they can read based on their level. So you can see they're going to start on number 1, and as they go through each activity, they will unlock the next ones. Sight words is, I'm sure you've heard this from your teachers, just those words that they need to memorize. So they're going to have all these different levels, and they're going to learn a few words with each activity. Word study is going to be phonetic activities. So obviously it starts very simple at the kindergarten level where they're just sorting different things into groups. And then as it goes on, it progresses to those different spelling patterns that your students are learning every week, that sort of thing. And then the last thing here is the library. This is really cool. They have fiction and nonfiction articles for your child to read. And it's all at their level. And they can pick from all of these different books that they can read. I'm going to head back to the dashboard. And the last thing I want to point out here is this last card down here that says My Store. So in Freckle, there's an incentive to keep students logging in and completing more questions. Each time they complete a question, they're going to get like coins that are racked up in their piggy bank. So you can see here, it shows you how many you have. And you can also see it up here in the corner. Right now I have 0 because I haven't completed any activities. But as your child completes more and more, this store is going to open. And in that store, let me show you what the store will look like. So in the store, they're going to be able to purchase different like outfits and accessories and backgrounds for their little avatar. So that's just like something to keep them going and excited about Freckle. And it'll only open after they've done a certain amount of work. So Freckle really wants them to do the work first before they're allowed in the store. And while they're in the store, they actually have a timer. So they only have 1.5 minutes to pick this out. And then the store closes and they have to go back to their work. Okay, so I'm just going to show you one more thing before I open it for questions. So I want to log in with a 2nd grade code so I can show you what that'll look like. So for the older students, Freckle is actually going to have them type in their first and last name. For this, please make sure that you are typing it exactly as your teacher has on his or her roster. Sometimes for the last name, they might just use the initial. So just double check with the teacher so that you're able to log in. And then it looks the same for them there. Okay, so that's really all I have about Freckle. I'm going to open it up to any questions right now. I don't see any in the chat room, but if you want to unmute yourself, you're more than welcome to, and we can talk about any questions you have.
Ms. Trawinski,
Yes.
when you log in, you type your first name and last name as the 2nd grade student. Do they do that every time, or does it keep them like after the initial login? Doesn't the browser keep it, or do they have to do it every time?
So the browser will remember the code. Let me log out. It'll remember the class code, but not the name of the student. So down here, you see I have all these codes that I've used recently. So you won't have to type in the code, but you will have to type in your name each time.
Okay. For that store that you showed the last, my store, how do they get the points? Like, is the scores after they finish an activity, they get a point, like money is equal to money to purchase things?
Basically, yeah. So after every question or every few questions, it will give them those points. So if I go into math for now, let's say, and I do this fact practice, as I'm working and entering the answers, it'll give me points. So I got three coins for that.
Okay, so those scores, those points are converted to coins automatically. And you know, in that corner, it gives you a total of how many points you have.
Exactly, yeah.
On the top right.
Yeah, and then Freckle will do like incentives, like if you get several questions right in a row, it'll give you extra points for that. So it's a pretty straightforward website, but I think the kids really enjoy it because it has that incentive for them to make that little avatar. You know, the same way that a lot of us adults are into the whole Bitmoji thing. This is kind of like their little Bitmoji that they can deck out with all the different accessories and all that. Okay, I don't see any questions in the chat box.
What was the difference between Math English and From My Teacher? You explained that, I missed that part. So From My Teacher, it was different than the other two, Math and English. What was the difference?
So teachers have the ability to pick a specific activity based on a topic, like maybe they want you to practice multiplication. So in here, you'll get that assignment. And then this is not at their level. It's not differentiated for the student. The whole class gets the same activity. So if your teacher is teaching about main ideas and that's what they want you to practice, you'll get that here. But then you also have the ability to go into math or English, and this is differentiated to each student because they take a pre-test before they open this up.
Okay, now it's clear.
So I think because I'm in the second grade one now, it should let me. So you see how now, because kindergarten doesn't have a pre-test. I think it starts everyone at the beginning, but in first and second grade, they'll do a pre-test. And it'll ask you all these different questions to figure out what level the student is on.
And then it's adaptive, it's adapting itself according to the student level.
Exactly, yep. Yeah, so this is like a really great website if your child wants more practice or more of a challenge. These two tiles will be adapted to their level.
Is there any parent module? Like other than the student account, is there any other parent account?
No, there isn't. Parents do have the option of creating their own account at home, but their view is the same as the teacher's view. So they would have to create like a separate class. They can't log into like my class.
So the content is math and English only, not the other subjects, right? Math and English only.
Yeah, our premium accounts are only math and English. If parents do create a account at home, it'll be the basic account, and I think they might have access to a few things in science and social studies there.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it a 10?
If, like, you know, it goes by, I guess, different schools have different, use different things. Like if the teacher of my child is not using Freckle, but the way I see and how the kids could practice, my kid will benefit. Is only the teacher could give you access to Freckle?
So we have premium accounts bought for the school, so they could give you premium access. But if you go to the Freckle website, it does give you an option to, so this is the Freckle website like that I use to log in. And then over here on sign in, it does have a parent option. And you can create an account there. And from there, you can make an account for your child and let them have that access. You would give them the code and then they could log into the free practice. So you could do that at home. It's just like a little more work for you. I would check with.
Yeah, I mean, the little bit of work, that's fine because it is easier for a kid to use, especially when, you know, the practice and stuff like that, kind of like it. You know, of course, the teacher of my kid used Clever and she posts like, you know, manipulates to do and things like that. But this one is more detailed. And actually, my kid is in first grade, but his level of reading is not high. He's very low in reading. So with Freckle, I saw how you did, and he actually reads it for the child. So it's easier for him to, you know, and as a parent of English is not my first language. So sometimes my pronunciation is not correct as I would like for him to learn. So if it's hearing it from the computer, I think the pronunciation is more clear for the child. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Definitely, yeah, I understand. Yeah, so I would recommend just making that free account as a parent, and then you send them the code and they can log in and work on the free practice at home for sure. a great idea.
Thank you. Appreciate it for the information.
And also, can you please ask your child's teacher, maybe she's or he is planning to use it maybe in few weeks, because it's open to all our teachers in all our schools. Can you please like ask the teacher?
I will mention it to her.
Okay.
Especially with the class dojo, I could probably just text it to her.
Yeah, because it's available for all the students, all teachers at all schools. So it would be better if you ask, maybe she's planning to use in next weeks, maybe.
Perfect. I will mention it to her.
Mhm.
Okay, any other questions out there?
Can you assign a homework on Freckle?
So that's the from my teacher. Those are like the homework assignments.
And when they go home, they can do the work activity and then get a point at home. It will continue the same way.
Yes, there's no like limit on when they can
Mhm.
access it.
Mhm, mhm. And you said in the store there is a limited time. Was it 1 minute or 2 minutes? What is the purpose of, like, so that they don't waste too much of their time? Is that the purpose?
Exactly. Yeah, it's 1 minute and 30 seconds they have. And then-
Otherwise, they might waste the whole 45 minutes in the store.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's a very good website. Like it's very child friendly, and I like the fact that it's adaptive to their level.
Mhm. Okay, if there is no further questions, we can stop here, but we are always open to questions. Parents can send us an email, call us, or we have support options on ilearnschools.org. You can use chat session, chat option, phone. We have a dedicated phone line, or we have Zoom sessions, live support option. We are open to questions anytime, not only during the webinar time.
Thank you so much for everyone who attended tonight.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye. Good night.